Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Cole. I'm speaking to you very late in the evening on Sunday, September 11th. Many of you will be seeing this on Monday the 12th, I assume, as we're now entering week 4 of Humanities 23-33 Philosophy Life for the fall term. Okay. Everybody, the midterm exam will be a week from Monday, September 19th. You have 24 hours on September 19th to take it. You'll have 45 minutes to take it once you begin. There will be 50 items. The items will be similar in difficulty to what you had on the 2 extra credit quizzes. There will be some multiple choice in addition to true false. The material will be the class notes for units 1 through 8 that have been posted in the modules area of the course website. By and large, that will be the material. I want to alert everybody. This may be the most difficult of the 100-point grades you'll have over the course of the 8-week term. For many of my students, this turns out to be the lowest grade they make. But remember, the syllabus provides for you to drop a grade. Okay, so if this turns out to be a low grade, you may drop it, but give it a try anyway. The reason is the material on the rationalists and the empiricists and on free will and determinism is so technical. This is the most technical part of the course, and that will foul up a lot of students. So please be aware of that. Give yourself sufficient time to get a good grip on that material. The class notes for lectures 4 and 5 especially. Okay. So if you take sufficient time to prepare, perhaps you'll do better than some of my students have in the past. Take note of the announcements that I sent out earlier today, Sunday the 11th, especially the one that serves as a kind of a study guide for the midterm exam. Once again, the midterm exam has been difficult for many students, so please take cognizance of that and give yourself sufficient time to get a grip on this material so that perhaps you'll do better than some of my students have in the past on the midterm exam. Everybody, for the free will and determinism material, mind and body, free will and determinism, that material for lecture 5, class notes for lecture 5. Okay, there were 4 outside readings issued. They're on the course website for Unit 5. Okay, so be sure to take a look at those in addition to the class notes. There may be a couple of items related to that material on the exam. Okay. Now, the material from Steven Pinker and Tom Wolfe. Tom Wolfe was a novelist and journalist. He's dead now. Steven Pinker is not. He's still alive. But they'll give you 2 alternative views, pro and con, on the issue of materialism and naturalism in the philosophy of mind, the relationship of mind to body. Okay. Tom Wolfe is disturbed by materialism. Steven Pinker is not. So they take kind of opposite views on that matter. The article by Oliver Brickman will tell you something about what philosophers have been doing recently in recent decades in philosophy of mind. Okay, what it means to have mind or consciousness, or what that could consist of. That's been a very daunting problem. Finally, you have an article by, some notes that I took about an essay by James Redfield, who, strictly speaking, is a classicist more than a philosopher, a scholar of ancient languages, Latin and Greek. But there is a fair amount of philosophy that's been done in those languages, so the fields are not unrelated. Now, the problem is people are disturbed by naturalism or materialism on the issue of mind and body because they don't want to think of human beings as merely natural. And this essay, The Sense of Crisis by James Redfield, tries to address this. Okay. The problem is when we say that we're natural beings or part of the natural order, that can mean at least 2 things. We can take it in a primitive sense, or we can mean it in the sense of the fullest development of our natural capacities. Now, James Redfield thinks that ancient Greek civilization reached a point where there was a kind of parting the ways or misunderstanding about this issue, and so it caused a crisis in Greek civilization. So see what you think of that. It might help to clarify for you some of the things that we have been talking about in this first part of the course. Everybody, on the syllabus for this week, to end up the material for the midterm exam, we move from philosophy of mind to philosophy of religion. We have the class notes for lectures 7 and 8. For lecture 7, the topic is the 3 traditional proofs of the existence of God: the teleological, cosmological, and ontological arguments. Now, the teleological argument is the argument from design. It's associated with the Reverend William Paley going back a couple of centuries ago. It's the argument that we see in the natural world evidence of design, in particular things that look like they have been designed, so that's evidence for a designer. That's an argument that has quite a hold on the popular imagination, but many philosophers feel it is the weakest of the traditional arguments for the existence of God, because we've come to understand that natural selection can mimic design. Now, the cosmological argument is different, and it's important to understand the distinction. The cosmological argument is the argument that the universe as a whole could not have come into being without a being such as God. So it's different from saying that particular things were designed by God. This is the argument the whole universe must have been brought into existence somehow by God. That's the cosmological argument. Then there is the ontological argument, which says that the existence of God can be derived from the fact that we have the concept of God, because that God must exist is part of the very concept of God. That's the ontological argument. Immanuel Kant did not think much of the ontological argument. I believe we've mentioned that in the class notes as we go along. So those are the 3 traditional arguments for the existence of God. Then in lecture 8, we talk about theodicy, or the problem of evil. Okay. How can God, if God has the attributes traditionally attributed to him, allow the presence of evil? Okay. We talk about a debate between philosophers named Plantinga and Mackey on this issue. And Mackey thought the existence of evil, the presence of evil in the world, was a knockdown argument against the existence of God. Plantinga obviously did not agree, as you will see. We then go on to talk about many different responses that have been offered by philosophers and theologians to the problem of evil, and that will end the material for the midterm exam. Okay. Now, everybody, in addition to the midterm coming up on the 19th, we're going to run a discussion Tuesday through Thursday this week. This will be our second discussion, but it will be graded. It will be worth up to 50 points for you. We hope this will be a fun topic for you to discuss. It's about artificial intelligence, which we discussed in the class notes for Unit 6 on the syllabus last week. Now, philosophers have been fascinated with artificial intelligence. The issue is, could we artificially create an entity that would be equivalent to a human being, that would be sentient, that can have consciousness, that can have experience, that would be something like a human being? Is that even possible? Okay. And furthermore, if such an entity came about, would it be dangerous? Would it pose a threat to the existence of the human species? We've given you a couple of things to read. We'll be interested to hear what you think about that. I hope we will have some fun with that in our discussion this week, Tuesday through Thursday, worth up to 50 points. So that will be coming up Tuesday through Thursday. Then after that, the midterm exam. You have a couple of things to keep you occupied between now and the 19th. Hope you will contact me through the website or at david.cole@OPSU with any issues, problems, or questions. We hope you will study hard in the meantime, do that reading for the discussion, and start getting ready for the midterm exam. When you're not studying hard, take it easy. We'll be talking to you again about a week from now when we'll be just getting ready for the midterm exam. So good luck on the discussion and the exam. We'll talk to you again about a week from now at this time.